Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of my podcast, Real Thoughts with Bob Benham. I am your host, Bob Benham, and I appreciate you checking in and giving me another listen and giving me another chance to air my grievances and giving my thoughts on what's going on in the world and in life in general. All I can say is life is just a bowl of cherries. No, I'm just kidding. Um, for some people, it is. I mean, it's amazing how there are people that really do find life to be they just have that positive outlook all the time. Um, and I try hard to maintain that positive outlook. Um, it's just it's very difficult to do, and for some reason, I'm just one of those people that it's it's hard to do that. I look at things and I go, uh, you just you look at it and go, okay, today's going to be a good day, and then something will happen, and it's like flipping a switch, and it just goes to hell in a handbasket, and you're like, okay, now I'm trying to fight through it, and what do you do from there? You're just along for the ride, and it just it is so crazy that you end up having to fight through things like that, and excuse me, um, it just makes life difficult. It really does, and it's hard to see, or hard to unless you're going through that kind of a life. Um, it's hard to comprehend it. It's hard to understand it. Um, and it's just, I don't know, one of those things. Um, I know, I mean, there's a lot of people that uh, do go through it, and I, what do you, how do you try to, um, how do you communicate all that? Um, and in today's world, especially, um, it is difficult because people now seem to really just um, that sense of community that used to be out there is gone, and um, with the way social media has developed, and everybody's so locked into their phones. I mean, you everywhere you look, everybody's got their face in their phones. People walking down the street, that's all they do. You look and when you see people walking down the street, it's like this. They're staring at their phones all the time, just staring, and I mean, they have no clue what's going on around them. None. Um, it's a scary thing. Um, and you wonder why they get attacked and stuff like that, and robberies and all kinds of crimes and stuff like that go on. hello, you gotta be aware of your surroundings. You gotta be aware of what's going on. Um, and then it contributes to um, all of this mental health issues going on, um, and stuff. And you got to just get away from it. You got to get away from it. Um, I I fell into that trap for a while. I mean, I was constantly locked into my phone for a while, and all I did was I was watching stupid stuff, just flipping through, looking at dumb videos. Why? I don't know. There wasn't anything interesting about the videos I was watching. It was just dumb stuff. And every video that I ended up watching, it never finished. I mean, you never saw the end of it. It would just all of a sudden stop, and you're like, "Well, what the hell happened? What's the ending here?" And it was frustrating. It was. I mean, it would get me so angry because it didn't play out. It would just all of a sudden quit. They would just end it. And it made things worse. I mean, it was like, "Oh, you idiots, just give me what I wanna see. Let me finish it, let me see it." And, I finally just said, "You know what? I gotta get away from this stuff. I gotta do something that I gotta get away from the dummy stuff, the dumb mentality stuff." The stuff that rots your brain. And that's what it does. It's there to rot your brain. Um, what do you learn from it? Nothing. You don't learn anything. It's just there to rot your brain. Um, it's incredibly mind numbing and dumbing, and it's designed that way because that's what the powers that be want. They want you dumb. They want you numb so they can do whatever they want to do and just and continue to do what they're doing so that you have zero clue to what's going on. And they can just do what they want over and continue to exert whatever they powers they want over you, and you have no recourse. You have zero clue to what's happened until after it's happened, and then you're going, "What? How did that get put into place? Where did that come from?" Well, if you had not been staring at your phone like a dumbass, maybe you would have been clued into what's going on instead of watching dumb freaking videos and whatever. Um, this is this is how everything's been done by design. Perfect example is all these world organizations. You see this all every once a year, every year you see all these people get on these private planes and fly into wherever the hell they go, wherever they're holding their meeting. And like the World Economic Forum, the World Health Organization, blah, 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 blah. All these organizations that they are not any type of really government organization. This is just a bunch of elites getting together to plan out what they're going to do for everybody in the world, how they're going to handle everybody and rule everybody. It's called globalization. This is what President Trump is fighting against. He wants sovereign borders for the United States. He wants the United States to be sovereign. I agree with that 100%. We don't need to be part of any kind of World Health Organization or the world part of the World Economic Forum or listening to anything that those idiots have to say because they're clueless. You want to talk about, excuse me again, you want to talk about total liberalism and you want to talk about communism and you want to talk about all that crap, that's it. We don't need to be anywhere near that stuff. America needs to take care of itself. And the only way it's going to happen is when we have a leader that says, hey, you know, the hell with everybody else in the world. We have to take care of ourselves. You know, every one of the disasters that's hit the United States, like North Carolina last year with the hurricane, um, the wildfires in California. How many nations came to help us? How many? Zero. But something happens overseas or out of our country, and we're donating millions and billions in aid. Why? Why are we doing this? They don't help us. They give a rat's ass about us. Why are we giving them money? And why are we giving them aid and giving them this and that and everything else? We shouldn't be doing that. Not until we take care of ourselves. Not until we have all the homeless taken care of. Not until this is the United States of America. We need to take care of ourselves. Plain and simple. Nothing else. Nothing else matters. We need to get back to the principles and the morals and to the foundations of our nation. The Judeo-Christian principles that we founded this nation on. We need to get rid of all these idiots that are talking about treasonous things and going against our Constitution because it's an outdated document. It's not outdated, people. Not even close. Oh, no. No. Our Constitution was written by some brilliant genius men. Absolutely brilliant genius men who had foresight, that could think beyond the end of their noses and foresee. They knew their history. They knew what needed to be done and how to put things in writing to make it positive and to make it where it would be a lasting thing, a lasting document, one that could last for years into the future. And it's up to us to make it last years into the future. That's up to us to do it. And unfortunately, we're not doing it. We as a citizenry have to do that. There's not enough of us fighting for it, people. There's not enough. You have people out there, I mean, you look in the media, and our media, all of it, except for a couple, but the majority of it's in the tank for the leftists, the liberals, the Democrats, the Democrat Party in this country. And they are so far to the left that they are. I've said this before, and I will continue to say this. They are in mental illness territory. They are mentally ill. What they are subscribing to and prescribing to is mentally ill crap. When you can sit there and say, "Oh, a man is can be a woman, or a woman can be a man, or a boy can be a girl can be a boy," or they can sit there and say, "Well, I feel like I'm a girl," or I feel like I'm a boy." No, no. That's mentally ill crap. It is. You, it. We have to stop this stuff. We can't let this just say, "Oh, well, we're going to let them do what they want to do, and we're going to call it equal rights and blah 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 blah." We're going to make it some kind of group thing and say that they can do what they no. 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 We can't let this stuff happen. You can't let mental insanity rule. The last 4 years proved that. It took our country almost out. We had a president that was uh, pretty much incompetent from dementia, borderline Alzheimer's. There's no doubt about that. We watched his just mentally go incompetent because of dementia. You could watch it in the way his gait had declined, in the way he walked, and the way he talked, and everything about him just went he just went downhill fast. He couldn't even read a teleprompter, people. And if he went off the teleprompter, he just clued out. He was not even present. But here was everybody, every Democrat in the media was, "Oh, he's sharp as a tack. There's nothing wrong with him. He just had a bad moment. He didn't get a good night's sleep last night." The man was going to bed at 7 or 8 p.m. Nobody saw him after that. I mean, please. Give us a break. You think we're that dumb? We're not. I may have I may have been born yesterday, but damn, come on. This is just how this is why I get I mean I get so upset about the liberals and the Democrats because this is how dumb they think we are. They think that they can just say whatever they want, and we're so stupid that we don't that we're just gonna sit there and go and just take their word for whatever, and that we're not gonna say anything and fight back. You know what? I look at, like, people like Jasmine Crockett and that Al Green moron and all these people, especially right now, the black, Congress people and all that, because they're the first ones that'll scream racism for anything. They'll scream racism at the drop of a pin. And you wanna know something? They are the biggest racists in the world. They are. And I'm so goddamn tired of hearing about it, them saying it. I just wanna scream every time. I can't even stand to look at them or hear them. You wanna be in the hood, go to the hood and live. But you'll know you ain't gonna go to the hood. There ain't no way you'll live in the hood because they'll eat you alive. You wanna act hood, but you can't survive in the hood. But you wanna scream racism every chance you get. But how is it that you have the opportunity to be a congresswoman or a congressman if you didn't have the same opportunity as any white person? Don't give me that racist crap. The only one that's the racist is you. I'm just tired of it. It's called black fatigue, and I've had it to here. I never once, ever in my life cared about skin color, about religion, about any of that crap. But all this crap has been thrown in my face so much over the last 15, 20 years, constantly. And it can only be done so much before you say, you know what? This is bull crap. None of it's true. It's time to say something. It's time to stand up and say something. I'm not afraid to say something anymore. I I would sit there and take it. And then for a lot of reasons, I had to because of my job. Because if I had said something, I'd been brought up on charges within my job, and they would have said, "Well, that's conduct unbecoming. You're fired." Even though I was exercising my free speech. Oh no, you can't exercise your free speech. No. I'm just so tired of hearing about this bull crap. That Jasmine Crockett, she is the I, you know, I think I read that she's an attorney. If I if I read that correctly somewhere, I don't know. Maybe I'm confusing her with Sunny, whatever her name is from The View. But her and her both they're interchangeable, and she's that Sunny Hostin or Hostin, whatever her name is. She's about as dumb as a box of rocks too. And the crap they say, my gosh, where the hell do they come up with it at? I mean, where do they come up with it at? I mean, I mean, hmm, to say the stuff that they do is just plain freaking evil and spiteful and angry and just, I mean, just it would have to be almost borderline. Well, I wouldn't even say borderline, but it would. I mean, just hmm. What would you call it? I mean, these people are just flat, unbelievably ugly. I don't know what else to call them. Just plain ugly. I mean, I could tell you right now, Satan's waiting and he's got his arms wide open. He's like, yeah, come on down. Sonny Hostin, come on down. Jasmine Crockett, come on down. Al Green, come on down. Chuck Schumer, come on down. Oh, yeah. Old Satan's got his arms wide open for these idiots because they're nothing but evil. Nothing but evil. There's no other way to describe it because what they perpetuate is evil. Everything they say is evil. Everything that comes out of their mouth is a lie. And it can be proven as a lie. Because just listen to them. They'll say something, and 2 days later or a day later, all you got to do is say, look at what they said and go and just, and then go back and go, oh, wait a minute. They said this, but it, no, it's this. They lied. No, they wouldn't lie to us. Those are the most stupid morons in the world. Every Democrat, liberal, libtard is a stupid moron. Idiotic, stupid moron. Yep, every one of them. And the sad part is, I read I read a lot of these articles, and I don't know why I do, but I read a lot of these articles that uh, the libtards print, write. I listen sometimes to these uh, podcasts that they have. you want to be, you want to talk about scary? Holy crap! The stuff that they discuss. I mean, you just sit there and just shake your head and go, "Where in the hell does this stuff come from?" I mean, they literally are not of planet Earth. I used to joke around, and I'm talking years ago. I used to joke around. I used to say, well, perfect example when the movie Men in Black came out, and this has been what 20, 30 years ago now that movie came out. I literally said that movie's nonfiction. That's the truth. They're here right now. The aliens are here. They're living among us. And my late wife at the time, she said, Are you? She started laughing. She says, "What the hell are you talking about?" I said, "Look around. They're here. Just watch what's going on. They're living here now. They are among us." And then all you do now is look around, and it's even more prevalent. It's incredible. All it takes is looking around at the stupidity going on. But then you got people that I mean, I there's people I know, and this is what really, really gets me upsets me so much is there's a lot of people that I have, I mean, so much respect for, and so much um, just a lot of people I've known, and just got just those people that you just think the world of, been friends forever and all that, and sadly, you, s- th- th- because we have a president that's not a politician and that's not afraid to speak his mind. That doesn't care about what he says. Doesn't he? Doesn't he? Just tells it like it is. I mean, literally, he just anything and everything that pops to mind, it just comes out. It's bam. He says it. Okay. So the people are all, oh, I hate the angry tweets. I hate the comments. Blah 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 blah. You know what? I could give a rat's ass about his comments. I could give a rat's ass about his angry tweets because you know what? So what? Who cares? Okay? Is he running the country in a positive way? Absolutely. Are things getting done to the point where the country is being made a better place to live? Absolutely. That's all I care about. That's all I care about. Do we live in a better country? Yes. Is the country stronger in the world? Yes. Are we a power, a major power, like again, in the world? Yes. Do other countries fear that we might, that, hey, we're a superpower again? Yes. That's what we are supposed to be. That's where we're supposed to be. We need to be that superpower again. That's what President Reagan talked about all the time. Peace through strength. We have to have that strength. We have to be built up again. And President Trump is rebuilding us to have that strength again. We have to have that. If we don't, we're done. And Biden was giving that away left and right. And one of the ways he was doing that was by opening the gates to the border and letting anybody and everybody run across that border. Just run. Come on in. Everybody, come on in. And it was for one purpose: permanent Democrat power. That was the only purpose of letting those people in. Because every one of them would vote Democrat, and that meant permanent Democrat power. Because the Democrats would make them all citizens immediately. Plus, they would all be counted in the census. So that meant more Democrat districts. Permanent Democrat power. They would never, ever lose control. And what would it take for them to lose control? Another revolution or another civil war. Or I shouldn't say another civil war, a civil war, because the last civil war wasn't a civil war. It was a war between the states, the Confederate States of America and the United States of America. They like to call it a civil war, and it wasn't a civil war. It was a war between two nations. I mean, and it's really, what another thing that it's just so concerning to me. It's so concerning to me. As you look at how it's been, what now, 24 years coming up since 9/11. I will never forget that day. It was my day off. I was at my, and I had Tuesdays and Wednesdays off when that happened. It was my first day off work. And my late wife, it was her days off as well, but she worked third shift, and she had just got home from work, and she had changed clothes, and because she had to go take the test for sergeant, she was going to try to get promoted. I had just woken up, and I remember she had turned the news on, and when I woke up, I remember looking at the TV and seeing one of the World Trade Center buildings on fire. And I thought, oh my God. I looked at my wife. I said, boy, I'd hate to be a firefighter in New York right now. I said, that fire is awful way up there in that building. That's a long climb for those firefighters. It's a long climb because they got to climb them stairs all the way up. I just barely got that out of my mouth. And the second plane hit. My wife had just stepped into the bathroom after I got it out of my mouth, and the second plane hit, and I went, oh my God, we're under attack. She goes, what? I said, we're under attack. She goes, what are you talking about? I said, another plane just hit the second tower. She goes, a plane hit the second tower? I said, yeah. I said, I got a feeling that's what happened on the first tower. I said, a plane just hit the second tower. I said, we're under attack. And she come out and they replayed. That's when they replayed the first plane hitting and then the second plane hitting. And I said, we are under attack. I said, I better get in the shower. I said, I got a feeling I'm getting called in. And she said, yeah. She says, I might as well just get in uniform too. So she got in her uniform. I jumped in the shower, got showered up, cleaned up, stepped out of the shower, the phone rang. Get in uniform, go get your cruiser, get out to the airport, and you run lights and siren all the way. Yes, sir, on the way. That's how my day started. I was out at that airport till about 3? I think it was about 3 o'clock. And if I remember, that was about when the last plane landed out for Columbus Airport. That's when they got all the planes out of the air. None were up after that. We got the people out of the airport, got them on their way to their hotels, got the airport shut down. And I remember all that happening. That's how the day went. And I remember we were evacuating downtown Columbus because of, Columbus is 15th largest city. I mean, it's a big city. And we weren't sure where, when, who, might be more attacks, all that stuff. You never knew. You just didn't know. I mean, everything was happening so fast. And, but I remember once everything calmed down and everything, and the slogan was never forget. Never forget. Well, we forgot because now New York City is about to elect a communist Muslim mayor. Now, I'm sure there's going to, there's that argument. Oh, well, there's moderate Muslims and blah, 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 blah. There's no such thing as a moderate Muslim. You're either Muslim or you're not. You either believe in the Quran or you do not. The Quran calls for the elimination of non-believers. Period. That's all there is to it. So there's no in between with that. And it calls for it by any means necessary. Deception, friendship, whatever, however it takes. You either convert or die. Well, let's see. What do you think? There's no other choice. Christianity is the only one that preaches love, preaches acceptance. Democrats preach that stuff and do not do it. Why do you think they have Muslims in their party? Sharia law is not compatible with the Constitution. It is the direct opposite of our Constitution. We cannot allow this to happen, people. There's no way we can allow this to happen. We've already got, 4 members of Congress, the United States Congress? And you look at what they're saying You look at what they're saying on a continuous basis. How much they hate our country. How much they speak against our country. It's right there. It's right there in front of us. They don't hide it. They are right there constantly speaking out against our country and our Constitution. They don't hide it. And they don't hide what they want to see happen to our country. They're wide open about it all. And we're just letting it happen. Why? Why are we letting it happen? Can someone explain that to me? I don't get it. Why are we letting it happen? Why are we letting these low-life Democrats and liberals and all these bad, bad groups, the Muslims, the every they want to turn our country into what they left. Why? Because it's about control. It's about conquering. That's what they've been wanting all along. They've talked about it. They've said they're going to do it. We've already had a Muslim in the White House. He said, "Join me in fundamentally changing America." He said that. Barack Hussein Obama said that. And look at how much damage he done to this country. And he ended up getting his third term through Joe Biden. Who do you think was running this nation? It wasn't Joe Biden. It was Barack Hussein Obama. Why do you think he had an office in Washington, D.C., 2 blocks from the White House? An ex-president with an office 2 blocks from the White House? Why would he need that? Someone explain that one to me. Hello? Third term? Through a proxy? Someone who said he would do that if he could? Well, what do you think happened? He did it. They're not secretive about what they're doing. They're not. They're letting us know ahead of time what they are going to do, and they do it. And we're too stupid in not letting it happen. And to say, well, oh, the Republicans will stop it. No, they won't, because they are just as complicit as the Democrats. I've always said one party, 2 names. And that's exactly as it plays out. Because if you had watched the day that Joe Biden was sworn into office, you should watch Joe McConnell and the rest of those rhino Republicans. They were all smiles because it was business as usual. They knew, hey, we don't have to play the game anymore. Trump's gone. We can do what we were doing right before Trump got into office. We can just go back to doing what we were doing. We don't have to sweat anything anymore. There you go. They are all evil. And President Trump is trying so hard to get rid of those idiots in the bureaucracies that are not loyal to the United States. I pray every day that he figures out a way that he can do it. It's got to happen. It has to happen. That's the only way he's going to save this country. And I need everybody to please pray for the United States. And please, please, please back this president one way or another, because he's doing what needs to be done. And he's not a dictator. He's not fascist. He's returning the freedoms to us. The only ones that are trying to take our freedoms away are the Democrats. And that's so easy to see. Please watch yourselves, watch your backs. Be aware of your surroundings at all times. This world is not a good place right now. Just be aware where you're at. Be vigilant. Take care of yourselves. Thank you for tuning in and watching and listening and all that. I really do appreciate it. You have no idea how much I appreciate it. Please take care. You've been watching and listening to Real Thoughts with Bob Benham. I am Bob Benham. I'm very humbled by you checking in, and you take care of yourselves. Until next time, God bless you. God bless the United States of America. Thanks again. Take care. Bye-bye.